Hi guys, and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be making a creamy coconut matobosha recipe. So let's go ahead and get started. What we're gonna need is 2 cups of all-purpose flour, which we're going to go ahead and cook out with our 2 cups of water. And we're going to also need 1 tablespoon of oil later on to roll the flour mixture. For our sauce, we're going to need 2.5 cups of coconut milk, 1/3 cup of sugar, 1/2 tablespoon of cardamom, 1/4 cup of raisins. This is optional, guys. And we're going to need 1 tablespoon of almond nuts too. This is also optional. We're going to go right ahead and start sieving our flour. And once that's done, we're going to add our water into a pot and start cooking out the flour. To go ahead and stir around just like the way you're going to be making sima or fufu, and you want to do this on very low heat. You have to be very careful with your heat, consistently rising the heat up and lowering the heat back down. So it's looking pretty good. Just keep stirring it until we start getting a good consistency, and this is what you're going to be going for, guys. As you can see, perfect. So we're going to go ahead and sprinkle some flour on our working surface. Just take the dough and put it on the working surface, put some oil on our hands and start kneading the dough. This just helps the dough to be soft because we're going to go ahead and make round balls out of the dough. Now we're going to cover it and just let it rest, and then we're going to jump into our sauce. We're going to pour the coconut milk, add some cardamom, the raisins and the almond nuts, stir everything together and let it cook for 5 minutes. Then we're going to go ahead and add in some sugar and keep stirring this. Let's check on our raisins and almonds. We want to see that they are also soft. We're going to cover it and let it cook. Put some oil on our hands. We're going to go ahead and start kneading it one more time. This just helps with the softness of the dough. So if your surface is a little bit wet, you're going to take a paper towel and just wipe it down. Sprinkle some flour on the working surface and grab some oil on your hands and just knead it one more time. Let's take a rolling pin and roll it out. You want your dough to have like a very smooth surface. This is perfect right here. Great. Let's cut it into pieces like we're making chapati and just put it aside. Sprinkle some flour again. We want to roll it into some sticks. This is perfect. I'm lucky enough I got this thing I bought from Amazon. You can go ahead, it's like a measuring thing. So go ahead and measure until 3 centimeters. If you don't have this thing, you can just go ahead and go with a filling. Just you take your finger and at the first line of your finger, you just measure with that and cut it, and go ahead and cut the dough back again in the middle. We're trying as much as we can to have small matoboshas because if they're big, guys, I don't find them very tasty. So we want very small matoboshas, and we're going to put them in our hand, roll them around into a ball, and then dip our finger into the oil and just make a hole in the middle. So this is what I did. And I worked out the balls first, and then I just decided to take them and just put a hole in them. It just worked out really fast. 2 boshas are done. We're going to go ahead and turn our heat at very high and just let our sauce be hot so that when we start throwing the matoboshas in, because the sauce is going to be so hot, it's going to seal the matoboshas. Keep throwing them in there and shaking your pot because we don't want to stir. If we stir this, it's just going to be like porridge, and that's not what we want. We want everything to be single and the sauce to be running through the matoboshas. So perfect, guys. Now we're going to take it off the heat and we're going to cover it and just let it rest. So this is how it turned out after letting it cool down a bit. It had a lot of sauce. Because it just dried out, this is how it's gonna look like. But if you serve it very warm, the sauce is still gonna be running, and if you serve it cold, this is how it's gonna look like. But you can always go and put it in the microwave and the sauce is still gonna be running. So don't worry if you see it looking like this, it has enough sauce. So let me give it a taste, and yep, that's exactly what we wanted. I hope you enjoyed the recipe. Please leave a comment, let me know how it went. If you have any questions, let me know. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button, and see you on the next recipe.